and welcome to this video. I'm Ellen and welcome to the Cool Library. I am here to talk with you about the movies I've watched in the first quarter of this year. This is something I like to do, just go by quarter of the year and see all of the movies I've watched, which is what this video is, but also TV and books. So those are also videos that I have here. But we're here to talk about movies. And I'm very excited because this is going to be, this was a good first quarter. And I'm happy about it. Now, I watched a total of 19 movies. Here they are, divided by month. Clearly my best month was March. And here it is broken up by minutes. So I watched a total of 2,117 minutes of movies, which is equal to about like 35 hours. So that's a lot of movie watching, but I love to watch movies, so I do it quite a lot. Now, genre, I'm happy, is like pretty spread out, but my most watched genre is action, with some romance and drama in second place. Surprisingly, I have 2 horror on this list, although I don't know if I would categorize them as horror, but IMDb was categorizing them as horror, so I was like, okay. All right, here we have all the movie links that I have been watching. So we only have 2 that were under 90 minutes, which 90 minutes is an hour and a half. So typically movies are an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is my most watched movies. 12 of them were between an hour and a half and 2 hours. I had 4 movies that were between 2 hours and 2.5 hours, and then I had 1 that was over 2.5 hours. Most of the movies I watched were in the theaters. Only about 5 of them I watched through digital means, and in the digital specifics, here they are. It was mostly Prime. I think I only had 2 I watched on Prime. 1 on Netflix, 1 on Disney, and 1 on Hulu. Most of the movies I watched were R-rated. That tends to be the case now. I feel like most movies coming out these days are rated R. But I did watch 3 PG-13, 1 PG, and then 1 movie that wasn't rated. Also, as you can see, most of the movies I watched were from 2026. They came out this year. Only a few that came out last year, and that was mainly, I want to say, January, because I was trying to catch up on some movies I didn't get to in 2025. The director, typically always male, unfortunately, but I did watch 4 movies that were directed by females. And then lastly, we have my star ratings. Most of them have been 3.5s this year, so a lot of average movies. I do kind of love that I have 4 4-stars and 3 3-stars, so like those numbers are matching up, and 2 2.5 stars. And I'm really happy that I have 1 5-star. I normally never have a 5-star this early on in the year, but I'm very happy to say we have 1 5-star to talk about. But my overall average so far for the year is 3.5. I would like it to be a little higher than that, but we'll get there. Okay, so now I think I'm going to talk about these movies in order from my least favorite to my favorite. And that's actually not what I'm going to do. Hi, Editing Ellen here. So if you've watched my book wrap-up video, I kind of explained that I wanted to do things differently this year for my wrap-up videos, and then I didn't do that for this one, but I'm changing it so I do that for this one. So I'm only going to talk about my bottom 5 and my top 5, but I will mention every single movie that I watched, but I just only want to talk in detail the bottom 5 movies, like my least favorite movies, and then my favorite movies. And that's how this is gonna go. So let's first talk about my bottom 5 movies. At the bottom are my 2.5 stars. The first one at the very, very bottom is Hannah Montana 20th Anniversary Special. I wanted to watch this for fun because I really enjoyed the Hannah Montana show when it came out. I was really excited for this like 20th anniversary like reunion special, and that's not really what I got. I don't know, this fell so flat for me. I felt like I didn't really gain anything from it. Like I wanted some like, you know, juicy behind the scenes details. I wanted a reunion with the cast, but it seems like nobody from the cast was invited except Selena Gomez, which she was just like a guest star in like a few episodes. I get like maybe why Mitchell wasn't, because I think, is he still in jail? But like Emily, Jackson, Rico, like where are they? Why were they not invited? Or if they were invited, why did they decide not to come? But I don't know, it felt very superficial and surface level the whole entire time. And I think the only thing I liked was the new song at the very end. I really liked that song. But other than that, it just, eh. Right above that, I have what some people are going to probably be shocked by, but that is Marty Supreme. I went into this movie being like, okay, I know it's nominated for some Oscars. I'm excited. I like Timothy Chalamet, although I'm starting to back away a little bit from him because of some things that he said. But I watched this movie and was honestly kind of mad. I walked out of the theater mad. There was nothing to like about his character. And yet we're supposed to root for him to like win the game or at least get some recognition. Anyway, this was like a movie about, I don't even remember his name, about this guy who was like a ping pong champion or something. And we're following his journey of trying to get into the ping pong championships. Because a lot of people don't want him in there because he's an asshole. I feel like if you're gonna make a character a villain, we need to make it okay for us to not want them to make it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I didn't want him to succeed. After everything he had done, absolutely I did not want him to succeed. And I don't understand why Gwyneth Paltrow's character was into having an affair with him. And her husband's like on some board committee for the ping pong championships. I can't remember. I don't understand why she would have had an affair with this kid. Like, I'm sorry, Timothée Chalamet was like a child in this who kept having a tantrum anytime he didn't get his way. I don't understand how any woman could find that attractive. Like, it just, that whole like character development did not make sense of like Gwyneth Paltrow's character choosing to have sex with Timothée Chalamet. Did not make sense. And yeah, no, I just was like, I liked the way it was filmed, but hated watching every second of that movie. So I did not enjoy it. Right above that, I have They Will Kill You. I am upset that this is so low on my list because I enjoyed it a little bit. I was like, I didn't think it'd be this low because I did have moments where I enjoyed it, but I think overall a lot of it was just too over the top and too over exaggerated. Like the fight choreography, the camera, the sound design, the acting, like everything was just too over exaggerated. Especially the sound design. Oh my god, the sound design I did not like. So this movie, we have a girl who, she knows her sister, her and her sister haven't seen each other in years, but she wants to reunite with her sister now that she's out of jail. And so she finds out that her sister got a job at this, like, I think it's a hotel, this like elite hotel for billionaires. And so she goes to get a job there, but she knows that this place are like devil worshippers. At least I think she knows. And so she goes in there and they try to, the people in this hotel, they try to kill her. But obviously she's really good at fighting because she came from prison. And so she just like fights these people and like kills them. But then we realize she didn't actually kill those people because they are immortal. They all are devil worshippers. They praise Satan, who gives them immortal life. So they come back and she has to keep killing them and killing them over and over again to get her sister out of there. But unfortunately, her sister has also like made a pact with the devil. And it's just, it's mainly just a movie that has a lot of fighting in it. I just wanted a movie that had a lot of like gory death scenes, a lot of really cool fighting. And it was, but at the same time, again, over-exaggerated. So it took me out of the story. But also the ending, to me, some of the logic wasn't making sense. I feel like there were some plot holes as well. Right above that, I have The Bride, which is about the Bride of Frankenstein. Like, Frankenstein's monster wants a girlfriend. And so they find a dead girl bring her back to life. And they go on this like Bonnie and Clyde adventure. I'm also upset that this is so low on my list because I really wanted to like this. But I don't know. I think for me, it was just, again, too weird, too out there for my liking. And I also just wasn't happy with the ending. I always will love Jessie Buckley. Ever since watching her in Hamnet last year, like, Jessie Buckley is a favorite actress of mine now. So I will watch anything she's in. So I thought she was great in this, but everything else about it, yeah. Okay, so above that one I have Reminders of Him. This is the new Colleen Hoover movie. I have only read one Colleen Hoover book and I'm good, but this one, I don't know, I was interested. She writes a lot of like sad romance movies, I guess kind of like Nicholas Sparks, but she's a little bit more problematic. So with this one we have a girl who's out of prison. Another one about a girl out of prison. She was in prison for basically a DUI that led to the murder of her fiance. But she's out of prison now and she wants to meet her daughter because she had birth while she was in prison. But she just wants to meet her daughter, who has been staying with the dead fiance's parents. But first she needs to get back on her feet, and of course the parents are not happy about her back. She gets a job at a bar because it's the only place that will take her with her history. And she finds out that the bar owner, okay, her and the bar owner are kind of having a little bit of a relationship, but then we find out the bar owner was best friends with her ex-fiance and has also been taking care of her daughter. So yeah, that's pretty much the story, and that is pretty much the movie. I feel like it was just generic. I think I liked It Ends With Us better, but this one was generic. So now the rest of the movies on my list are going to be all 3.5 stars until we get to my top 5, which are pretty much my 4 stars and my 1 5-star. So here's all my 3.5 star movies. Shelter, The Bluff, Solo Mio, Pretty Lethal, Mike and Nick and Nick and Alice, Cold Storage, Dead Man's Wire, People We Meet on Vacation, and Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Now on to my top 5. At number 5, I have Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This was a very fun movie with, again, a lot of action. We have a guy who seems like he's homeless and has gone crazy, and he comes into this diner and is like, hey, I know there's a group of people in this diner who can help save the world. I am from the future and I need help. And he's like, I've tried this like 60 times, so we're gonna try again. I'm not gonna stop trying until I've done every combination of people in this room. So then we get a combination of people in this room and we go on this adventure of trying to save the world. And I think it was like something with computers or AI is what's gonna destroy the world. So he's trying to then destroy a specific AI or computer thing, or at least like the person who invents this specific AI or computer. And it was really fun. I feel like I'm saying that a lot about these movies, but I actually had fun with a lot of these movies, and this one was fun. I think what I liked most about the movie was how vibrant it was, even though there was a lot of like scenes that were taking place in the dark, because this is all taking place over like nighttime, but it still felt very vibrant in like, it's not just so much its colors, but its lighting and its colors. I think the ending got a little bit too out there. I just feel like we had an ending and then it was like, oh no, that's not the ending. Okay, now this is the, no, that's not the ending. And it just like kept going. So that part to me was just a little like, they could have cleaned that up a little better, but overall I had fun with this movie. Oh wow, I'm a lot closer now. Sorry, had to change my battery and ended up zooming in, I think, closer than I was before. Okay, so number 4, I have Send Help. This was fun. This also had a couple scenes that were even too gory for me. Or not gory. The one where like Rachel McAdams kills the boar, that was like some of the most gore I've seen. But also there was like the scene where Dylan O'Brien eats a bug. I was gagging. With the way they filmed that, I was gagging in the theater. But very good film. The story had me like gripped and hooked from the beginning. You don't know the story, probably. Let me tell you the story. in case you don't know. But we have Rachel McAdams, we have Dylan O'Brien. Rachel McAdams is like this weird, gross, like finance girl in this like corporate company. And Dylan O'Brien is the son of the CEO who just passed away, so now Dylan O'Brien is the CEO. But he's kind of a dick, as most rich men are. And she was guaranteed a promotion with his father, but he's like, I'm not my father. Hey, you know what? Prove to me on this, like, deal, and then maybe I'll consider giving you the promotion. Those two, plus a couple other people in the company, they're all going on this trip to go make a deal. The plane crashes on an island. Only Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams survive. Spoiler, sorry. But she's very good at survival stuff because she wanted to be on Survivor. And she reads a lot of books about survival. Like, she knows her stuff. Dylan O'Brien is helpless. He cannot take care of himself. So these two are trying to work together. But it gets into like the thriller aspect of things. And it gets a little scary and at times, and gory and gross. But I had such a fun time with this movie. I said it again. I said the word fun again. It was fun. And I liked the ending. And number 3, I have How to Make a Killing. We've got my good old man, Glen Powell. And another, I'd say this is like a thriller as well. He is the son of a woman who was part of a very rich family. Can you tell there's a theme with the movies I've been watching? Oh my god, a bunch of rich, evil people. Anyway, so he's the son of a woman who's from a very rich family but got disowned. And so even though he's part of this family, he doesn't know the family. He's just been trying his best to make a living. And so he then gets an idea that, if I want that money, these are all the people in my way. I need to kill them. And so slowly but surely, he starts killing them. He's making his way up. But things might not go as planned, is I think where I want to say with that. I also very much appreciated the twist at the end of this movie too. Like, it's one of those things where it was like a sad ending, but also a very satisfying ending. I don't want to say sad. It was like disappointing in a way, but at the same time very satisfying. I don't know how else to explain it. I also enjoyed the narration because we have the movie starting off, Glen Powell's in jail, about to be hanged, and so he's meeting with a priest right before. And he's telling the priest the entire story. And then that leads to us getting the story from his perspective and him telling us the story. Normally, like, narration overlapping the scenes, I feel like doesn't go well a lot of the times, but I think this movie did it very well. And I do like a dark comedy, and this was very much a dark comedy. It was funny, but there had a lot of killing, a lot of things that were maybe a little problematic. Again, we got like finance bros and rich people getting their comeuppance. And like the shift and like the character development of Glen Powell from like the beginning to the end, like the shift from when he's a pretty like nice, decent guy to like the money has changed him. And like the thought of getting the money has changed him. Still very much enjoyable, still very much liked it. At number 2, I have Wuthering Heights, which is a shock to me. I didn't think it'd be this high on the list. I thought it'd be like somewhere in the middle. Because this director did Saltburn, which I was not very much a fan of Saltburn. I didn't like the story, but I really liked the visuals. So I was like, okay, so this is a character, I will like the visuals, but not so much the story. And which is kind of what I thought was going to happen going into this. But surprisingly, I liked the story. Now, I have not read the book. I do want to read the book. I know the book is very different from the movie, but the movie focuses on the romance aspect of the story and the toxic relationship that it is. But I just think this movie is so visually stunning. It's gorgeous. I just want to watch it over and over again just because of how great it looks. My only problem going into the movie, and I think is still my only issue and problem coming out of the movie, is the casting of Jacob Elordi. Now, I do like Jacob Elordi, but I don't think this was the role for him. I do know that in the book, that character is supposed to be a black man, so I don't appreciate them casting a white guy for the role. But at the same time, when I was watching it, I don't think Jacob Elordi was able to pull this role off. I'm sorry, Jacob, but I don't think this was a role he could pull off. But otherwise, really enjoyed the movie and the story. And I think they changed the ending from the book. I remember looking it up. I was like, is this how the book ends as well? And I don't think it was. I actually really liked the way it ended. I was like, this was the ending for this movie. Like this, for this type of story, that's the ending. It would have been either one. I was like, I could see it. I could see two different endings. Either one would have been fine. I'm also just shocked that this movie made me cry. I was not expecting to cry, but some tears came down. Okay, now we're on to my number one, which is my 5-star of the year so far. And that's Project Hail Mary. I loved this movie. I did not read the book, but I definitely want to read the book. The fact that a movie can make me both laugh and cry, you're gonna get 5 stars. So this was a story about Ryan Gosling. Again, I never remember characters' names. So sorry, but that's just not gonna happen. But Ryan Gosling is a science teacher for, I think it was middle school, and NASA hires him to kind of help figure out what's going on with these like particles that are going towards the sun and eating some of the sun's energy, and so we're losing the sun, which is not good for us. But then he gets sent to space, and he's kind of alone in this trip to, oh my god, I don't know how to describe. Hold on a sec, let me look up a way to describe this movie because I'm not doing a good job. Okay, so science teacher Ryland Grace is his name. We're gonna call him Ryan Gosling. Wakes up on a spaceship light years from home with no recollection of who he is or how he got there. As his memory returns, he begins to uncover his mission: solve the riddle of the mysterious substance causing the sun to die out. He must call on his scientific knowledge and unorthodox ideas to save everything on Earth from extinction. But an unexpected friendship with an alien means he may not have to do it alone. And the alien is Rocky. I'm obsessed with Rocky. I love Rocky so much. I formed such an attachment to Rocky in my heart. And I liked that we're constantly going back and forth between present and past. So like as Ryan Gosling is uncovering his memories and getting some of his memories back, we're then also seeing those memories. Also, Carl has my heart. I love Carl. I love Carl so much. But this was absolutely fantastic. I also saw it in Dolby. So it was like the huge big screen with the surround sound, and I think that it was like the perfect way of watching this movie. But like the filming is great, the story is incredible, I think the acting is really good. I even afterwards watched a bunch of like YouTube videos and interviews, and I even saw a video of an astrophysicist kind of like being like, is it real? Like what's real? What's science fiction? Like, and actually they got a lot of like the science stuff correct in this movie, which I really appreciate. And they like worked really hard on the science aspect of this movie. Obviously some of it is going to have to be science fiction, but it worked. And it was absolutely fantastic. I love this movie so much. Please go and watch it. I know it's like a 3-hour movie, but it is well worth the 3 hours. And that is it for my movies so far in this first quarter of the year. I hope you enjoyed. Please also check out my books and my TV shows, and I will see you guys later with more videos. Bye!